Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about humor. The reason is that in the past week, two of my friends come to me and share some negative stories or negative emotions with me. The common problem I get from these two cases is that I found people, as ordinary people, we may not have learned how to release our emotions, especially negative emotions. There are not many good mechanisms to cope with that, apart of crying or validation activities, but that's not good. So what I did is I went to review one of my favorite courses from Harvard University that's called Positive Psychology. One of them is called Humor and Happiness. I think that's really what something I need to learn and to review again to see how we can change our way to deal with the world or deal with those uncomfortable unhappiness or negative emotions. Well, either way, one of the reasons I also want to learn this is that because my mom always say, Baron, you are not interesting. You cannot tell jokes. Okay, I want to prove that it's something I can learn. To put everything in short, give you a quick conclusion. According to the lecture, there are also, along with other learning materials, what I found is that basically there are three theories about what is humor and why it exists in our society. The first theory is from Freud, one of the famous psychologists in the world so far. And I think you all know the theory about ID, ego, and the superego, right? Basically, ID is your impulse, what you really want to do internally, and the superego, on the other hand, is really about something you control yourself because of the social rules, and ego is something in between to manage them. And one good example is that, say, if I'm going to attend a party, then I see a beautiful lady. So as an animal, I definitely want to have some sexual activity with her, right? But this is your ID, your internal impulse. But your superego will say, no, that's not good. You cannot do that because that's anti-social rules, right? So that's how it incorporates with control us. But assuming that you control yourself all the time to suppress your what you really want to do, what will happen? You will get exploded, right? Because your emotion must have a way to be released. And Freud argued, humor as a way can be deal with those emotion release. So that's why we have so many jokes regarding sex, regarding validation. Another great example about humor is that we all hate politicians, right? No matter you are Donald Trump or no matter you are Biden, we all sometimes, from time to time, you may want to punch them, but actually you cannot do that, right? So as a result, the best way you can do is to make some joke on top of them. That's the best thing you can do to release your emotion away, negative emotion. Okay, that's the first theory, say humor as a way to help us to release the negative emotion. The second thing is really something called to humor as a way to correct other behavior. So I think it's get from someone called Henderson. I forgot the name. Anyway, that's not important. That means he is not famous. I only know Freud. Anyway, yeah. Anyway, the theory is that when you saw For example, when you saw a candle, when you go to a shopping center, you see a group of teenagers are doing bad things. But teenagers normally they only do bad things. Anyway, but you can't, in this scenario, you cannot touch them, or otherwise you will be the bad person and you will be sent to the jail, right? And so in this scenario, the best thing you can do, maybe also use humor as a way to correct them, to tell them what they should do, to make them feel shameful. That's the best thing you can do. But because I'm not very good at correcting other people, I cannot give you any further information. Okay, now let's go to the third point, which I think is the most important thing that I have learned through this lecture from the positive psychology. Humor as a way, humor is a mindset. That's one thing. That's the first premise. And the second premise, I think, is humor can be a way for us, can be one alternative lens for us to view the world. I think that's brilliant, right? We all, as a human, especially as one adult, we have our very fixed mindset to view the world in our own way and to get good out on top of it. To me, what I feel is that, so I think that's very important to one adult, in that when we are kids, we see the world in a very unique way, and you can give some answers that your parents never think of. But when you get old and you become one adult, your idea, your mindset is fixed. And that's the reason why you always see the world in a similar way, maybe the same way as before. And that's why you feel the world is not so interesting.